So the local maker behind Randomly Beautiful opened up her wood crafting shop in Grain Valley back in August. Now she's also a NICU nurse and a mom, so it's safe to say she's pretty busy. But Regina Woods simply says that she feels good when she's crafting with her hands. Here's a how-to on one of her latest projects. So we've got a double layer of gloves on right now, and that means it's time for Regina to show us how to stain the serving tray.
Okay, well, perfect. So I built the serving tray in my workshop, and it comes already put together. I always put double gloves on because I break my gloves all the time, and then I have stained fingers. So when you are staining, you really don't want to have a heavy coat. You want light is better so it will dry, and you want to go with the grain of the wood when you're staining.
Okay.
This particular project actually came as an idea from one of my customers who said, hey, I just really want to have this wine serving tray, and she gave me a picture and said, could you make something like this? And so I did, and it's been pretty popular. People really like this one. It's a great, it's a great piece just to take out onto your back deck and share some wine with some good friends, and there's a little space in the center you can put some food. So I love getting ideas from customers, and the other perfect thing about this is it's so customizable. Like, you decide what color you want to stain it or paint it, and then also I do custom stencils. So after we're done with this staining process, we're going to apply a stencil, and that is whatever the customer wants it to be. We make that stencil fit what they're asking for. So we definitely have workshops. I host workshops every Friday and Saturday evening. Sometimes those are, like, I determine the project and everybody's doing the same project, and sometimes I have what I call open create nights, and people reserve their spot and they tell me what it is that they want to make, and I just make sure that I have everything ready to go for that evening, and they come in with their wine and food and friends and create away whatever it is that they wanted to do.
Let's talk about maybe some of the other projects, because I know that you guys do so much artwork here.
Yeah, so we do a lot of signage. As you can see, we do tons of signs, but we do shelves. We have a plant stand, clocks. Those are another big hit. People like to make the clocks because they're very personal. So, and really anything that you can send me, wreaths. We've done a lot of wreaths. So anything that, if somebody has an idea and they're like, I'd really like to make this, we can usually make it happen.
Well, I am very happy with this. I mean, it looks lovely. One more thing though, was there a particular type of stain that people should use?
I've used all different brands of stain. Okay. So, and I've used all different colors of stain too. So no, just whatever you see that you like is great.
Well, Regina actually made that box tray before we got there, and she said it just takes her about 45 minutes. For me, I think it would take about 2 hours. In just a bit, we'll show you how to personalize a tray with a stencil and paint. Welcome back to Better Kansas City. Regina Woods of Randomly Beautiful told me it was her husband who gave her just that little extra push to go ahead and open up her own shop.
And you said she used to sand and assemble things in her own garage, right?
Absolutely. So it was actually someone who was taking a class from Regina who had the idea for this serving tray we're making. Let's take a look at how to personalize it. If you've ever wondered how lettering comes out so perfect on these signs, it all starts with a computer, and then it's actually turned into a sticky stencil. And Regina here is hard at work right now personalizing this serving tray.
Yes, so whenever people come in here and they want to make something custom, I can design just about anything for them on my software, and then I create the stencil. So after you've made this tray, you decide what goes on here, and we place the stencil, and then we get our paints out and paint it so that we have nice crisp lines.
And so, I just said a simple B, and she came up with this whole pattern. So you definitely have the creative eye, which is something that's very cool because not all of us can think outside the box.
Yeah. Well, I do love this. I love a challenge.
Okay, well, let's let this spring to life, maybe with our paintbrush this time.
Yes. So when you're doing the stenciling, I'll just set this up here.
Okay.
You're gonna dip your brush in, but that is way too much paint. It's probably going to run under your stencil, so we don't want that. So you're just gonna take a little off, and then you're just gonna go in this straight up and down motion the whole way through your stencil. And then once we've got it all covered, we just take that stencil off.
Is there anything else that you should say or really be sure to do when we're working with this?
So definitely you want to make sure that your stencil is firmly pressed against your piece.
Okay.
You don't want to have a bunch of openings for paint to run under the stencil because you do want those nice, beautiful, crisp lines.
Okay, and why do we use this dotting up and down motion?
It just lends itself to not letting that paint run underneath the stencil. It just lends itself to crisp, clean lines.
Should we go?
Yeah, go for it. We'll just come together.
Oh my gosh, that is satisfying.
And then I have a special tool that I use to get the little middle section out.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say the navy really stands out in this lighter stain.
Yes, I love that stain with this navy color. I just think it's just pretty and classy, or classic, I should say. It's not gonna go out of style.
Wow.
There we go.
That looks so beautiful and professional. We might have to turn this around so you can get a better look, guys, but hey, don't ever say I'm not an artist.
That's right, because you did this.
Well, Regina was being super kind there when she said you did this because she helps me a lot. But you know, Bill, let's say you wanted to do that at your house. The paint colors come in any shade really, and you can get a bunch of different stains, including like a darker brown, gray, and ebony.
Yeah.
Now, coming up, she gave me this insider tip that the distressed look is very
Very hip still.
Yeah, and we're going to actually finish this up with some handles and hardware for the perfect serving tray.
Cool. I really, like you said in the segment there, I really liked those colors, and that blue on that darker brown really popped and really looked nice.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
All right, welcome back. Now time to prepare for power tools.
That's right. I get a handle. Well, I actually get two handles on a tray that I'm making with owner of Randomly Beautiful, Regina Woods. So Regina's taking a big leap of faith right now, trusting me with a drill, but hey, we gotta get this hardware screwed in somehow. And this is totally unique. You know, how did you come up with actually using pieces to carry the tray?
Well, I have a bunch of wood pallets. Done.
Oh
Look at that.
my gosh, that went in so fast. Okay.
So the bottom of this tray is actually a recycled wooden pallet. So I take those pallets and I tear them down and then sand them, cut them to whatever size I need and sand them. And I try to incorporate that into a lot of our projects we do here.
And how did you actually decide, hey, this needs a handle? It can't just be a serving tray that you sit across your bathroom.
Yeah, because it's pretty.
And do you kind of just line it up in the middle, like eyeball it, or have you done this so many times?
I definitely always keep tape measures available for customers.
And she's also helping me out here, keeping a close watch on me.
There you go.
Okay, so we got one more left to do. This by far is the most fun.
Using the
whole
power
project,
tools.
Yes.
And then we have a little centerpiece that we can put in here. It's optional. If you really want to be able to see that old palette, you'll probably want to leave it out.
And I love that you have this replaceable mat because if you are eating or using it as a picnic, maybe outside with some friends and something spills, you can actually clean it and take it out.
That's right.
Do you have any washing recommendations?
I would probably spot clean this. I would probably hand wash it only.
Okay, so spot clean. Well, Regina and I are gonna get busy with our Sharpies, finishing up that last touch. Thank you so much for showing me how to make a serving tray.
Thank you for joining me, and I love it. It's beautiful. You did a great job.
High five. So the Sharpie I was referencing, we actually went over the screws to give it a more authentic look. Yeah. Regina also hosts parties on most Fridays and Saturdays, and the best part, you don't have to clean up after.
Oh, beautiful. You love that. And my notes that I took from that is I'm going to buy Belinda a cordless drill for Christmas.
Oh, I think I've got an electric drill somewhere.
All right.